Hey everyone, welcome to Adilicious and I'm Aditi. And today I'm going to be showing you how to decorate these cupcakes, which would be perfect for Teachers' Day to show your teachers how much you love them, or for any back to school party. I'm sure you'll enjoy making these. Keep on watching if you want to see how I make these. So these are the tools I'll be using to make these cupcakes, which will be listed down below. I'm using some edible marker along with some different colored fondant. All the colors will be listed down below in the description box, along with some alphabet cutters, few star shaped plunger cutters, a toothpick, a knife, a ruler and a rolling pin, along with a texture mat which I'm going to use to texture out my base fondant. You can use any texture or you can even leave it out plain, and I'm going to use a cutting mat. I'll be using pink and blue fondant for the base of my cupcake toppers. So starting off with the blue, roll it out till about 2 mm thickness. Should be something like this. It should be a little thicker of what you want because we're going to roll it out on a texture mat in 2 strokes like this. We don't want to roll it too much, else it will smudge the pattern, and this is what the pattern will look like. And now using a cookie cutter to making sure that it's a little smaller than our cupcakes. So just measure out your cupcakes before cutting it, and then cut out 2 circles, and then using your finger just clean off the jagged edges if there are any. Repeat the same with the pink fondant as well. Cut out as many circles as you want depending upon the number of cupcakes you want to decorate. I'll be making 4. Starting off with our chalkboard topper, roll out a piece of black fondant to about 1 mm thickness, and then cut out a rectangle that should fit our cupcake base which we cut out earlier. Place the rectangle on our base fondant and check if it fits. I think it needs to be trimmed off a little. And then roll out a piece of brown fondant and cut out thin strips from it. And then with the help of some water on all 4 sides of the rectangle, attach the strips, cutting them at an angle where the 2 strips meet each other. Something like this. And then using a toothpick, just create some lines to give it a wooden effect. And now with some icing sugar, dust the black part of the board to give it a chalk effect. Blow out the extra icing sugar, and then using an alphabet cutter, cut out alphabets from a thinly rolled out white fondant, and then attach them to the board using some water. And then finally attach the board to the base. And then taking some white fondant, roll it out to create 2 chalk-like pieces and attach them to the corner of the board. And our chalkboard cupcake topper is ready. Let's move on to making our book cupcake topper. Roll out a piece of white fondant to about 1 cm thickness, and then cut out rectangles from it of various sizes. This would act like pages inside our book. Neaten out the edges using the back of your knife. Once done, roll out a piece of red fondant to about 1 or 2 mm thickness, and then apply some water to the back of the white rectangle and trim out the red fondant from 3 sides, just leaving a small margin like I'm doing, and then flip the other one and trim off. And then using a toothpick, mark an indentation on the book and your book is complete. Repeat the same for the yellow and the green fondant as well. You can use any color fondant you want. And our books are ready. Applying a little bit of glue, attach the books to the base fondant. And now using an edible marker, you can write anything on the books you want. I'll be writing 1, 2, 3. And our topper is ready. Moving on to our third topper, which is like a stack of paper. Roll out a piece of fondant really thin. And then using your knife, cut out rectangles. You should be able to fit the rectangles on the base fondant which we cut earlier. Just straighten out the edges using your fingers, and then leave them to dry out for 10 minutes so that we'll be able to easily draw some horizontal lines using our blue edible marker and a vertical line using our brown marker. And then using a star plunger cutter and rolled out yellow fondant, cut out a star and using some water, attach it to the paper sheet we just created. And using a red or pink marker, write any grade you hope for. I so wish I could have gotten an A+. Using some water, attach the paper sheet to make them look like a stack of papers with the printed sheet on top. And then attach it to the base fondant with some water, and your topper is ready. Moving on to our last topper, these adorable crayons. Using any color fondant you want, I'm using red, yellow and orange. Roll out a piece like this and trim off one end with the knife, and the other end just rock it between your fingers to taper it down to make it look like a crayon, something like this. Repeat the same for the yellow and the orange. And then roll out thin strands of black fondant like this and attach it to the crayons with some water at the base and at the top. And rolling out an oblong piece of black fondant, stick it in the middle of the crayon. And repeat this for all the other crayons. Using some water, attach these crayons to the base fondant. And a cupcake topper is ready. Let's put it all together. Here I have some of my less sweet buttercream. The recipe to this would be in the description box below, and my perfect vanilla cupcakes. Do check out the recipe, they are fabulous. Along with that, I have my toppers all ready. I have let them dry for about 2 hours or so. Put the buttercream in a pastry bag fitted with a round tip nozzle. Now to frost the cupcakes, here my cupcakes are slightly domed. I would like to trim them off a little. If you don't want to trim them off, you'll get a coating like this with the cupcake peeking out a little. That's not a problem because anyways we're gonna cover it with the cupcake topper. So the choice is yours. I'll trim mine a little. Using a knife, trim them off and then pipe a swirl onto your cupcakes. You should be generous with your frosting and then flatten it out using your butter knife. The frosting should be coming out of the cupcake like this. And then using the back of your knife, just sweep off the excess buttercream, wiping it using the bowl, and then your flat top frosting is complete. You can even pipe out rosettes using star tip nozzle if you don't want to do this kind of frosting. Make a beautiful cupcake wrapper. I'm gonna cut the edges of a paper doily, something like this. It should be the height of the cupcake, just make sure. And then measure the circumference of the cupcake. Once done, stick them using some paper tape. And this is such an easy and inexpensive way of making some beautiful cupcake wrappers. Place your cupcake inside the paper doily wrapper and see how beautiful do they look. Place the cupcake toppers on top of the cupcake and your cupcakes are all ready to be gifted to your teacher or for any back to school party. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial and do give this one a try. If you do, don't forget to share a picture. All my social media links will be listed down below. And do subscribe to my channel. Until next time, bye bye.